Let's go through the settings that we'll be using within Pro Tools. If we go to the top left-hand side, you want to change the edit mode to grid. What that means is it allows you to drop a clip onto the timeline and it places it at a specific grid amount. In this case, it would be at 1 frame because we're working with frames. We want it to be at a 1 frame grid amount. If you want to move within a frame, you can change to slip, and this will allow you to slide the clip in between frames. Moving over to the right, we want to make sure that the Smart tool is engaged. The Smart tool is this overarching bar that connects these 3 tools, the Trimmer tool, the Selector tool, and the Hand tool. And as you move over a clip, this will dynamically change, allowing editing to be a little bit quicker. Below the Smart tool are these 4 buttons. These are the buttons that you should initially engage when using Pro Tools. Link Timeline and Edit Selection, Link Track and Edit Selection, Insertion follows playback, and automation follows edit. Moving over to the counter, you want to make sure that it's set to timecode. If we move over to the grid and nudge increments, you want to make sure that grid is set to 1 frame timecode, and that nudge as well is set to 1 frame and timecode. Below this bar is the counter display, and when you initially open up Pro Tools, it may display all of the counters, but we want to limit it to just the ones that are meaningful to us. So if you click on this drop down here, you can deselect whatever you don't need. So bars and beats, minutes and seconds, timecode 2, feet, frames, samples, you could turn off. You just want timecode on, which is our main timeline. And then you also want to make sure that markers 1 is on as well. Looking at the timeline area, if you move to the right, you'll see there's a highlighted A to Z button. This toggles with the clips A to Z button. You can see when I select clips, it toggles this one off. When I select this one, it toggles it back on. Make sure that this is the one that's on, the one by the timeline. This allows a lot of really helpful single key shortcuts. If we look at the track view area here, right now we see comments and I/O. If you click on this drop down, you can choose to see other columns that are useful when you're working with Pro Tools. But initially, we just want to have the I/O and track color selected.